now, ladies and gentlemen,
The Funky Butt Club is proud to present
the divas who believe her,
the legend, the icon,
The man who put the I am in iambic pentameter.
The toast of Mayfair.
It's the musical show.
dang, dang, diggity, dang, 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 diggity, dang, dang. Tina, you're on.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to the musical show on Spreaker.com. I am your host, Matt Stevens. I hope you had a wonderful new year. Welcome to the 2018 version of the musical show, where you will hear none of the songs you heard in 2017. Again, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I hope everybody's assimilated to the cold, as we are spending a nice 50-degree day today here in New York City. We're going to kick things off. Going to have a couple announcements. We are going to kick things off, obviously, with our first show with opening numbers. Now, some might say, why not do overtures? And I love overtures, but it's not quite as exciting as the opening number. And so I like to open this year with opening numbers. It's just the way we do it. It's just the way I do it. And of course, because we always do opening numbers, and it's hard to group them in strange and fun ways, like you can with love songs and whatnot. So we do it, of course, in alphabetical order. We'll start with the oldest, getting to the newest, and we will always try as best as humanly possible to play a show that is playing right now. We have a couple fun things coming up. Also, you can follow me on the Twitter at the Matt Show 365. If you're listening to this show, you probably know where to get it. But if you know people who want to get it, I'm on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, iTunes, and of course live on Spreaker.com/user/The Matt Show, and you can find me there, or you can go to Twitter and you can click on the links there. Now, we have a couple things coming up. It's very exciting. We're going to be doing this year our segment where we do the musical show history, which is we will be going back to different decades and playing just shows from that decade. So no theme, just going back to the 30s and the 40s and 50s and 60s and just playing some of those shows that you may never have heard before, because the cast recordings are hard to find and weird, and nobody ever plays them and nobody ever revives them. And that's why we're here. So we're going to be doing that. We are going to be doing next week, we're going to be doing our show, the second half of all the musicals that were released in 2017. So you'll hear all the cast recordings that were released. I believe it was June 23rd when we stopped, up until January 1st. There will be a few omissions because I can't get them. I don't know how to get them. And that's just not my fault. Well, some of them might be. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Where we're going to start tonight, folks, is in 1947. We have a lovely little town called Missitucky, and two Irish folk are moving there so they can bury some gold in the hopes that it will grow into more money, with an angry leprechaun following them to get their money, to get that money back, so he can go back to being a leprechaun and not become a human. I am, of course, talking about Burton Lane's and E.Y. Harburg's Finians Rainbow. This is the original cast of Finians Rainbow with This Time of the Year on the musical show on Spreaker.com.
Right, everybody. Tax sale's gonna start now. Hear ye, hear ye.
We can't be bothered with the mortgage man this time of the year.
You'll be sorry interfering with the law.
For Spring don't care about a mortgage man this time of the year.
I'm giving you your last chance to get back your land.
The dandelions in the dusty dell don't give a hoot and hell.
They're gonna smell without collateral.
This time of the year. This time of the year.
Sweet berry buds and elderberry buds.
Don't give a good ding-ding-dang.
Fruit, shoot up, fruit trees and fruit up.
Go tell rockets to go hang, hang. Don't mess around here. This time of the year. You'll get it in the rear. This time of the year. Rainbow is our sentimental, bicycles are clear. Snapdragons don't play no riddle this time of the year. Red cabbage and sweet potatoes don't easily steer. There's crop enough real estaters this time of the year.
What's she saying?
The choo-choo's coming and it's mighty clear.
What is here?
It's up there right with the engineer.
Yes, Woody's here. Just look at that choo-choo puffin'. Let's give it a mighty cheer. Just look at that engine puffin'. Dang blasted old Woody's here. Woody's here. Woody's here.
Oh, girl, that whistle blowing, that whistle is put to the ear. It's what you could be knowing. Down that's the Woody's here. Well, that whistle blowing, that whistle is put to the ear. It's what you could be knowing. Down that's the Woody's here.
Woody's here.
Pete, I'm moving.
Where?
North. Some Frenchie come through and told me an old bummer hit a pocket. I ain't getting nothing out of this mountain, Pete. I gotta strike it and get home to my wife.
Where north you going?
I don't know. Find out when I get there. Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I ain't certain. All and always I am on my way. When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I ain't certain. All and always I am on my way. Got a dream, boy. Got a song. Paint your wagon and come along. Where am I going? I don't know. When will I be there? I ain't certain. What will I get? I ain't equipped to say. Hey, but who gives a damn? We're on our way. Come on, Pete.
You have to go, Jake. You have to leave me.
I got it, Cherry. I ain't hitting nothing but slate rock around here.
But I love you, Jake. Why is there so much money you do not have?
This time I'll make it, honey. I got a hunch my luck is gonna change. And when it does, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna open up the darndest music hall that California ever saw. Velvet and satin wherever you look, and some of that real Frenchy wine.
Then I close up here, bring up the dancers. Oh, we make the miners very happy.
Yeah, honey, that's what you do.
But you don't make me wait too long. I want to be true to you.
Don't worry, honey. Come on, little banjo. Lead me to the rainbow. Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I ain't certain. All and always I am on my way. When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I ain't certain. All and always I am on my way.
Got a dream, boy, got a song. Get your wagon and come along.
It's north I want to go, Doctor. North, beyond that redwood country. Look, I met an old man in Sacramento who swears by the saints that there's a lake of gold up there. You hear me, Doc? A lake with a bottom of solid gold.
I'm going where the gold is in the ground.
Hey, look at this map. It'll show you exactly how to get there.
I'm going to Rumson Creek. So long.
Wait a minute, I'm coming.
Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I ain't certain. All I know is I am on my way.
When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I ain't certain. All I know is I am on my way. Got a dream, boy, got a song. Paint your wagon and come along.
say, Governor, this is Sawmill Camp, ain't it?
Yeah, what's left of it.
Gold all run up, partner.
In a week, there won't be enough dust around here to fill a bug's nose.
Now ain't that the bloomin' luck? Where are you gentlemen headed for now?
Runson Creek. You want to come along?
Oh, I'd love to come, Governor.
Well, what's your statistics, partner?
Edgar Cocker, London, England.
Well, come along, Edgar Cocker, London, England.
Where am I going? I don't know. Where am I heading? I am certain. All I know is I am on my way. When will I be there? I don't know. When will I get there? I am certain. All I know is I am on my way. Not a dream, boy, not a song. Take your wagon and come along. Where am I going? I don't know. When will I be there? I am certain. But when I get, I ain't equipped to say. But who gives a damn? We're on our way.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
Except for that time we went to see Phantom of the Opera. Let's see the gross half of your face so I can get out of here. That nose better be piggy. Shut up. You shut up.
Only on Spreaker.com.
Love is not a question of age. It's a question of aptitude. Never too late for love. Though years are flying, one keeps on trying. Autumn gets dressed up to wait for love. Never too late for love. Its tender hunger makes the night younger till you jump for the moon up above. Long winter nights are great for love. Never too late for ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Never too late for love. Name at all. Love may come to call. Knock at your heart and say, do let me in again. Knock, 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 knock. Let's begin again. With ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Never too late for love. Though years are turning, hearts keep on burning. Wise men will slyly tempt fate for love. Never too late for love. Its tender passion, always in fashion, seems to light up the night up above. Over thin ice we skate for love. Never too late for ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Never too late for a love.
This very attractive, thoroughly modern, marvelous fire machine is ready and set for duty. A little American beauty, gold-plated nozzles, 50 feet of hoses, 2 gilded angels holding out to roses. A very attractive, thoroughly modern, marvelous fire machine. We were mad. We were hop and darn mad when the sauerkraut factory burned down. And because of inadequate equipment, we lost the only brewery in town. Then the fearless fighting editor of the Daily Centerville Globe got us this modern fire machine by instigating a probe.
We want our editor.
We want actor. We thank you for this very attractive attractive, modern fire machine. She's queen of the fire forces, easier on the horses.
I'm glad we finally got her. Heavens knows that she was needed. The moral is that progress must never be impeded.
We thank you for this very attractive, modern fire machine.
And I thank you for stopping this magnificent parade in front of my home on this glorious 4th. I have never made a public speech before, but as the editor of your paper, I shall continue to campaign for the improvements this town so rightly deserves. Inside plumbing in the town hall, an extra telephone in the police station, and a high fence around the town dump. I'm proud to live in the prettiest town in Connecticut, with the tallest elms and the nicest folks in the world. The growth of my little paper is surprising, all due to your support and a bit of advertising.
We thank you for this very attractive, modern fire machine. She's ready and set for duty, a little American beauty.
We're seeing giant changes, men are flying through the air. Our nation's on the forward march, and Centerville will be there.
This very attractive, thoroughly modern, marvelous fire machine is ready and set for duty, a little American beauty. Gold-plated nozzles, 50 feet of hoses, 2 gilded angels holding on to roses. A very attractive, thoroughly modern, marvelous fire
Essie,
machine.
Lil, where are you?
Here we are.
I made a speech.
We heard you from the window.
You were wonderful.
Was I wonderful?
Simply wonderful.
You're just saying it.
You were feeling it and believing it and conveying it.
Was my voice good?
It was mellow as a breeze.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Oh, please. Was it long enough?
Just right.
Was it strong enough?
You were eloquent.
Gee, I guess I'd no idea how really well it went.
And you had the ladies melting by degrees.
Oh, I did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, please.
I wonder, are things like that inherited, the knack of pulling phrases from the air? Now, I would have to write it out and plot it all. He's got it all.
Oh, not at all.
You were nifty, Dad.
Was I, Tommy?
I'm not kidding you.
Give that cheek to me.
Gee, the kids will have to stand in line to speak to me.
Well, if I'm a big success, then you're the keys.
No, we aren't.
Yes, you are.
No, we aren't.
Yes, you are. I'm not putting on an act. It's an absolute fact.
No, we aren't.
Yes, you are.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
That was the original cast of Take Me Along with the Parade and Oh Please. Before that, it was Walter Slezak and the original cast of Fanny with Never Too Late for Love. And finally, before that, it was the original Broadway cast of Paint Your Wagon with I'm On My Way. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. And if you aren't familiar with them, I'm sure you are if you're listening to this. But if you aren't, Take Me Along is based on, well, probably the only happy Eugene O'Neill play. Happy is a weird term to say with Eugene O'Neill. They're never really happy. Sort of happy ending-ish. Our Wilderness. It's based on Our Wilderness. Back when they used to have at least the idea that it was somewhat original by changing the title rather than just making Saturday Night Live the musical. They would have just named it something else. They did that a lot. They did it with Sugar. They did it with Take Me Along, which is Our Wilderness. They did that a lot. And then, of course, Fanny, which is sort of a weird love triangle. It's based on some weird French trio of plays. But it's Harold Rome, and I feel like every time I listen to Harold Rome, all I do is sway back and forth. And if you listen to that song, you're just it'll almost put you to sleep. Almost. And I don't say that in a mean way. It's just something that happens. And I love the beginning of Paint Your Wagon with those horns just melting your face, getting ready, talking about some miners. Yeah, mining. Oh, baby. Mining. We move on to the 60s. Well, actually, we were in the 60s. Were we in the 60s? I don't think so. We were not. We were in the 40s and 50s there. So we're going to move into the 60s, and we're going to talk about a very famous woman by the name of Molly Brown. If you don't know who Molly Brown is, I'm sure you do, but if you don't, if you've ever seen the movie Titanic, the what is her name? Oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. Anyway, this is Molly Brown. She's played in the movie, and it's the show is about her life. It's the unsinkable Molly Brown, right? So we have this is of course Meredith Wilson did this, and when you listen to it, you're going to hear a little bit of of Music Man in there. That's sort of like pattery talk singing. Kathy Bates. Thank you, Lord, Kathy Bates. That was going to drive me completely insane. Anyway, here is Tammy Grimes and the original cast of the unsinkable Molly Brown with I Ain't Down Yet on the musical show on Spreaker.com.
I ain't down yet.
You're down, Molly. Holler, Uncle.
I ain't never shouting Uncle to you and nobody, 'cause I ain't never down.
Come on, Molly. You're tuckered. Why don't you quit?
Sure, I'm tuckered and I might give out, but I won't give in. How can anybody say that I'm down? Look, I'm thinking. I'm thinking very hard how to break through. Maybe here, maybe there, maybe no place. But there'll come a time when nothing, nobody wants me down like I wants me up. Up where the people are, up where the talking is, up where the joke's going on. Now looky here, I am important to me. Ain't no bottom to no pile. I mean much more to me than I mean to anybody I ever knew. Certainly more than I mean to any Siwash Yazzie hampers like you guys. Go ahead, break my arm. Me say uncle, doesn't make a bit of difference for you to keep saying I'm down till I say so too. Did you ever try stepping on a pissant? Well, there's one now. Jumping, stumping, thinking you got him, thinking he's quit. He don't think so. There it goes. And you can be positive, sure I'm as good as any pissant that ever lived. Oh, I hate that word down. But I love that word up, 'cause up means hope, and that's just what I got. Hope for someplace better. Someplace, I don't know, cleaner, shinier. Hell, if I gotta eat catfish heads all my life, can I have them off a plate just once? And the red silk dress, when there's girl enough on me to wear one. And then, someday, with all my might and all my main, I'm gonna learn to read and write. I'm gonna see what there is to see. So if you go from nowhere on the road to somewhere, and you meet anyone, you'll know it's me. I'm gonna move from place to place and find a house with a golden stair. And if that house is red and has a big brass bed, I'm living there.
Well, now, who do you think you are?
I can be anybody. I can be a queen if I wanna be.
We've just been wrestling with a queen, if you please. Would recognize her with all that dirt on her knees. And with her long head and golden toes, and that contraption she calls her nose. A queen can never be queen without any throne. So here's the fanciest throne that you'll ever own. Here is your scepter, here is your crown. Now won't you please sit down? Well now, you think you look like a queen? Then go ahead and walk like a queen.
Go on and march, march, march.
She's queen, queen of the Lard Pale. Watch her marching by. Now don't forget to hold your head away. you acting wise?
No one has hit me right between my choosy, foolish eyes. Once or twice I faltered, for maybe a moment or two, and then I say it isn't you, or you, or you, or you. Somebody looks at me, trouble is in his eye. Should we have a talk, says he, out of my way, says I, and I stare him down and brush him off and haughtily pass him by. Where would you like to walk, says he, out of my way, says I.
Says who? Says who?
Says who? Says I. I simply says I says out of my way, says I.
She didn't want to be misled, so she turned her back and said, out of my way without explaining why.
Often that I see, watching me on the sly, begging your pardon, Mrs. He, out of my way, says I. And I raise my brows and lift my head and carry my shoulders high. Couldn't you spare a kiss, says he, out of my way, says I.
Says who? Says she.
Says nobody else but me. I simply says I says out of my way, says I.
But life has such a little time to run. Don't you think that any love is better far than none?
There's an old saying, if it isn't everything, it's nothing. And my heart keeps saying the same. If it isn't everything, it's nothing. So if one small ingredient should be missing, though he may be such that many a girl would fall, well, he'll not be the gentleman I'll be kissing. If it isn't everything, it's nothing at all.
What do we all agree? Someone will qualify. How do you do, my dear, says he.
How do you do, says I, and I'll know at once at last we've met, and all I can do is sigh.
Happy to have you here, says he. This is my lucky year, says he. Now if you're just as here, says he.
That's what I am, says I, and into his arms I'll fly.
There's an old saying, if it isn't everything, it's nothing. And my heart keeps saying the same. If it isn't everything, it's nothing.
So if not one ingredient should be missing,
Though he may be such that only a girl would call.
all my life he's the gentleman I'll be kissing.
If it isn't everything, it's nothing.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
It's a cross-country road trip. You blast the Annie soundtrack.
Maybe far away, or maybe real nearby.
And you eat junk food.
Only on Spreaker.com.
So many creatures, so many things. Each wondrous object is beautiful and striking. And I see nothing that isn't to my liking. Here in Eden, there's plums and peaches, and pears and grapes, so ripe and juicy and utterly inviting. I find the apples especially exciting. Here in Eden, as for me, I can see I was meant to rejoice in the round, vibrant sound of my own voice. It's all so perfect and so ideal.
Yet I do have one tiny reservation. There's nothing handy for making conversation here in Eden. How'd I come? Where am I from? What's my ultimate aim? I don't know, even so I'm glad I came. It's all so lovely, I may just weep. I love this garden and everything that's in it. And something tells me to treasure every minute. Blossom and bud, mountain and mud, I know I'll be happy, perfectly happy here in Eden.
Join us, leave your field to flower. Join us, leave your cheese to sour. Join us, come and waste an hour or two. Doodly-doo, journey, journey to a spot exciting, mystic and exotic. Journey through our anecdotic review. We've got magic to do just for you. We've got miracle plays to play. We've got parts to perform, hearts to warm, kings and things to take by storm as we go along our way.
Intrigue, plots to bring disaster.
Humor handled by a master.
Romance, exquisite pastory.
Diddly-dee, illusion, fantasy to study.
Battles barbarous and bloody.
Join us, sit where everybody can see.
We've got magic to do just for you. We've got miracle plays to play. We've got parts to perform, hearts to warm, kings and things to take by storm as we go along our way.
That was Ben Vereen in the original cast of Pippin with Magic to Do. Before that, it was Barbara Harris with with Here in Eden from the Apple Tree. And finally, before that, it was Joan Fagan in the original cast of Donnybrook with Says I. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. And, I mean, most of you probably know Pippin. I love Pippin. I'm sorry. It just sounds cool. I'm not cool. I do a podcast about musical theater. I'm not cool, but it just sounds cool. And I love the end where there's just like this big flourish. We go along, and you think they're just going to belt out that last note. And then all of a sudden it's just Ben Vereen, and he's just like real cool. And if you've never seen the movie, go get the video of the stage production, because it's amazing, because Ben Vereen is singing basically without a microphone to a full, huge house. And it's really just wonderful. The Apple Tree is great. It's like a 3 short shows based on 3 short plays. The Diary of Adam and Eve, and that's Mark Twain, and 2 other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. But really, just a wonderful small show. It's 3 people. It's really great, really great. Donnybrook is in fact about a boxer who killed somebody in a ring. So he gets boxing, and he meets this woman. She needs somebody to protect him, and it's a whole thing. And it becomes, in fact, a Donnybrook. And if you've never listened to Donnybrook, it's actually pretty good. It's got some good songs. Really wonderful cast. Eddie Foy was in it. Joan Fagan. Oh God, who am I missing? There's a bunch of people in that cast. Really, really good show. Actually, really good cast recording. You can get it. I think it's on iTunes. I think you can listen to it. Here we go. Philip Bosco is in it. Susan Johnson. Some really good people. If you know a lot of old musical theater like I do, you know those names very well. And so it had a really wonderful cast, and of course ran 468 performances. Now, we move on to The Act. The John Kander and Fred Ebb vehicle, with starring, of course, Liza Minnelli playing a fading movie star trying to make a comeback in Vegas. Or, as I like to call it, her autobiography. This is Liza Minnelli and the original cast of The Act would Shine It On the musical show on Spreaker.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Starlight Room at the beautiful Hotel Miramar in Las Vegas is proud to present the opening night performance of the Michelle Craig Show. So let's give a nice, warm Las Vegas welcome to the beautiful, the exciting, the fabulous Hollywood's own Michelle Craig.
Brothers, do you know what shine it on means? Well, you should. Sisters, you gotta take that phrase and make that phrase your own, for your own good. Shine it on means when depression comes upon you, does a downer number on you. Take no notice, shine it on, yeah. 'Tis the day comes your way, shine it on, shine it on. Morning news brings the blues, shine it on, shine it on. Just dismiss it, boo and hiss it, bracket and parenthesis it. That's the way you shine it on, shine it on. Oh, you spent next month's rent, shine it on, shine it on. Your bank book shows only shine it on, shine it on. Don't outguess it, just finesse it. If you really wanna dispossess it, settle back and shine it on. Shine it on. Shine it on. Oh, yeah. Turn your back, friends attack. Shine it on. Shine it on. You won't indulge, still your bones. Shine it on. Shine it on. Don't deplore it, just ignore it. If you really wanna out the door it, just get back and shine it on. put your money on a losing team. Shine it on. You buy the Halston, but you bust the seam. Shine it on. You ride the freeway and you get a flat. Shine it on. He drew 4 aces while you sat pat. Shine it on. The perfect husband is the perfect louse. You get the children, he gets the house. Some dumb computer turns the power off. You give up smoking, but you keep the car. Shine it on. Shine it on. From causation, no vexation, if you want to feel amelioration, when you spot the spine on some porcupine, brush it off and shine.
What a circus, oh what a show. Argentina has gone to town over the death of an actress called Eva Perón. We've all gone crazy, mourning all day and mourning all night, falling over ourselves to get all of the misery right. Oh, what an exit, that's how to go. When they're ringing your curtain down, demand to be buried like Eva Perón. It's quite a sunset and good for the country. In a roundabout way, we've made the front page in all. the world's papers today. But who is this Santa Vita? Why all this howling, hysterical sorrow? What kind of goddess has lived among us? How will we ever get by without her? She had her moments, she had some style. The best show in town was the crowd outside the Casa Rosada crying Eva Peron. But that's all gone now. As soon as the smoke from the funeral clears, we're all gonna see and how she did nothing for years. Down your people, Elvita. You were supposed to have been immortal. That's all they wanted, not much to ask for. But in the end you could not deliver. Sing, you fool, but you got it wrong. Enjoy your prayers because you haven't got long. Your queen is dead, your king is through. She's not coming back to you. Show business kept us all alive since 17 October 1945. But the star has gone, the glamour won't bend. That's a pretty bad state for a state to be in. Instead of government, we had a stage. Instead of ideas, a private dollar's rage. Instead of hell, we were given a crowd. She didn't say much, but she said it loud. Sing, you fools, but you got it wrong. Enjoy your prayers because you haven't got long. The queen is dead, the king is through. She's not coming back to you.
I think we all are. Ride on my train, oh my people, and when it's your turn to die, you'll remember they fired those cannons, sang lamentations, not just for Ava, for Argentina, not just for Ava, for everybody. So share my glory, so share my coffin, so share my glory. So share my coffin.
It's our funeral too.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
In high school, I played center field in the musical Damn Yankees.
We've got heart. All you really need is heart.
Yeah, you don't want to brag about that.
Only on Spreaker.com.
Guess what's on the rage again? Taking center stage again. Romance.
Homeward bound one evening in spring, a dashing rake, a sweet young thing. He stops, she turns, he looks, she grins. Oh, papa, the little comedy begins.
Bowing low, he murmurs good day. Her eyes aglow, she bids him stay. His ad deceives,
Her tone misleads. Sis boom ba, the little comedy proceeds. Now begins the masquerade, wherein the snares and traps are laid.
the outward show,
The coy disguise,
the trumped-up tale,
the monstrous lies.
linking arms, enacting their parts.
They ply their charms, they pledge their hearts. The night,
The wine,
the moon above, ooh la la, the little comedy of love.
now the fears and doubts commence.
Can love be real with such pretense?
The ruse confessed,
The joke enjoyed,
the truth revealed.
the dream destroyed.
On the dance, but can they retrieve the sweet romance of
make-believe?
the joy,
The bliss,
the grief,
the strife. Ah, 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 ah. The little comedy
the comedy
of
life. My built-in female radar, only zeros in our zeros. I'm like the actors' fund, supporting wannabe heroes. I've been caught in a trap, but it's not gonna happen again. wishing ought to be recalled or overhauled. Most men have backbones like a strand of overcooked linguine. Just say commitment and they instantly become Houdini. When I look back upon the men I've loved, I'm thoroughly appalled. I'm gonna build a wall around my heart, a towering fortress made of solid rock, electric fences all around my heart. The next guy who hits on me is in for a shock. I know to let go now, and so I solemnly promise no more seeking disappointment, chasing after dreams. With just the two of us now, we're better off by far. You and I are one of the greatest teams. No more living for a lover, craving his approval, giving to extremes. They say that history repeats itself. I'll bid my past goodbye. No more, no more. I know more
That was Bernadette Peters with No More from The Goodbye Girl. Before that, it was Scott Bakula and Allison Frazier with the little comedy from Romance, Romance. And finally, before that, it was Colm Wilkinson, Julie Covington, and the original concept album cast of Evita with Requiem for Evita and Oh, What a Circus. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. And if you've never listened to that album, it's just white. It's a white album. It just says Evita and script on it. Listen to it because it is the best version of that show. It becomes more operatic and more classical as he makes it, keeps doing it and doing it. But the original one has got a little more rock to it. It's got a little bit more soul to it. It's really, really great. And I understand that Colm Wilkinson shouldn't play Che Guevara, but it was the 70s and it was Britain. And I'm sorry, but that's all I have. That's what I have. Okay? Because the only other version I have where it's somebody good is like Ricky, whatever her name is. I don't want to listen to him. Sorry. Just don't care. Romance, Romance is a great little 2-act play. It's Scott Bakula and Allison Frazier. It's a wonderful little show. The first act is about two people in a budding relationship. The second act is about two couples where two of the members of the couples start to have or want to have an affair as they're spending vacation with each other. But a nice little show, very good to do. And of course, The Goodbye Girl was really good. I was actually lucky enough to see it with the original. It was only played with the original cast, where you have Bernadette Peters and Martin Short's course that based on the Neil Simon movie. And it was so good. It was so good. But sometimes you cast perfectly the first time. And who are you going to get after you do that? You got Martin Short and you got Bernadette Peters. Who are you getting next? And so they just closed because they weren't going to sell tickets after that. And so they just closed. It ran for 6 months, I think it was, and closed pretty quickly. Now we go on to a show that I was also lucky enough to see back in the 90s, the original cast. It was one Mr. Savion Glover tapping his feet off. This is the original Broadway cast of Bringin' the Noise, Bringin' the Funk, with Bringin' the Noise, Bringin' the Funk on the musical show on Spreaker.com.
but loving the shit you do. When you bring the noise, you better bring the funk, cause the jump will try to punk ya. Can't if you're real, ain't about dealing with no bogus shit. New shit, old shit, long as it evolves. Bring it, bring it, bring it.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
Little things with fur better hurry.
Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry.
When I take you out in the Surrey.
Surrey with the fringe on top.
Whatever, it's like I'm on a hayride.
Only on Spreaker.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, Hedwig!
Don't you know me? I'm a new Berlin Wall, baby. Try and tear me down. I was born on the other side of a town ripped in two. I made it over the Great Divide. Now I'm coming for you. Enemies and adversaries, they try and tear me down. You want me, baby? I dare you. Try and tear me down. I rose from off of the doctor's slab, like Lazarus from the pit. Now everyone wanna take a stab, decorate me, blood, graffiti, and spit. Enemies and adversaries, they try and tear me down. You want me, baby? I dare you. Try and tear me down.
On August 12, 1961, a wall was erected on the middle of the city of Berlin. The world was divided by a Cold War, and the Berlin Wall was the most hated symbol of that divide. Reviled, graffitied, spit upon, we thought the wall would stand forever. But now that it's gone, we don't know who we are anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, Hedwig is like that wall, standing before you in a divide between East and West, slavery and freedom, man and woman, top and bottom. And you can try and tear it down, but before you do, you must remember one thing.
Listen, ain't much of a difference between a bridge and a wall. Well, me right in the middle, babe. Wow, you would be nothing at all. Enemies and adversaries, try and tear me down. You want me, baby? I dare you. Try and tear me down. Enemies and adversaries, try and tear me down. You want me, baby? I dare you. But try and tear me down. Come on in.
Hey, Dino, easy, will you? She's coming to the phone. Hello, Marie. I don't know if you remember me, but we met last week.
If she remembers him, we're sunk.
He's gonna get the axe from her. What would you say to seeing a picture?
I pass.
How does a combination of Johnny Mac Brown and Bessie Love hit ya?
Right between the eyes.
Well, she said I had one hell of a nerve calling her at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. She said naturally she already has a date.
The moon's like a million-watt electric light. It shines up the city as it climbs. And I gotta spend another Saturday night at home with the Sunday Times.
Moonlight on Flatbush Avenue, that's what I call a lovely view.
So what can you do on a Saturday night alone?
Who needs a view on a Saturday night alone?
If it's a Saturday night and you are single, you sit with a paper and fight the urge to mingle.
And home is a place where you gotta go back alone.
Home is a place where the future looks black alone.
I like the Sunday Times, alright, but not in bed.
Alive and alone on a Saturday night is dead.
Dino, knock it off already.
Dino, give it a rest. Here's a revival of Ben-Hur, goes in at 9:15 at the Cushman.
So when I got my mind on sex, who gives a damn for Francis X. Bushman?
The moon's like an overloaded Moxie sign. It shines at you friendly and bright. I got my buddies and my buddies are fine,
but not on a Saturday night.
Johnny Mac Brown and Bessie love, 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 love. So what can you do on a Saturday night?
On a Saturday night.
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 You are single. You sit with a paper and fight the urge to mingle.
And home is a place where you gotta go.
It's a place where you gotta go back.
Where you gotta go back.
Where you gotta go.
It's a place where the future
Home is a
looks
place
black.
where the future looks
Home is a place where the future looks black. When things will be different any other night instead.
But we're on a road on a Saturday night.
With no one to phone on a Saturday night. And when you're alone on a Saturday night, you might as well be
That was Greg Zola, Joey Sorge, Kirk McDonald, and Dave Campbell with Saturday Night from the 2000 off-Broadway production of Saturday Night. Before that, it was John Cameron Mitchell and the original cast of Hedwig and the Angry Inch with Tear Me Down. And finally, before that, it was the original cast of Whistle Down the Wind with The Vaults of Heaven. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. And I want to go back to Noise Funk for a second because it's really wonderful. It's not necessarily a musical, although it is original music, and it's more like rapping. And listen, there are musicals that happens now. So maybe this is sort of like a front runner that we never talk about. But there's a song in it in particular I want to talk about because there's a scene in it where Savion Glover is literally on stage. There's a pool of light, and there's a voiceover of him talking about the great tappers of all time. And when he talks about that particular tapper, he taps in that style. And it was really one of the best dance performances I've ever seen in my whole life. And it was really wonderful. And if nobody does it, because it's really hard, but if you ever get a chance, if anybody ever does it, go see it because it is a fun, great time. If you love tap dancing, it's just guys just hoofing all night long. It's really, really great. For those of you who don't know Whistle Down the Wind, it's based on a movie which is based on a book. And Andrew Lloyd Webber has a way of doing this to people. Richard Taylor and Russell Labey wrote a musical of it in 1989, Weber wrote his in 96. It's also Jim Steinman who wrote the lyrics for that. So he likes to do that. He did that with Phantom with Maury Esten as well. Really good time there. It's a very convoluted story, sort of religious town, kids against parents, that sort of thing. It's very convoluted. The music is pretty good. I actually really like that number. There's a couple other really good songs in it. That was the London version of that. It actually almost came to Broadway. There was a marquee up for it, I believe, where Kinky Boots is playing. I think it was that theater. And they never showed up. And there you go. And then, of course, I had to play Hedwig after that to sort of even out the religious part of it. If you know me, that's what I do. And then, of course, Saturday Night, which was a really great and wonderful show. I believe it's the first full musical that Stephen Sondheim ever wrote, even though the first production of it was in 2000. It had never been done before that. And it's a nice little show. Very small cast, really good. Just a really just fun little show. And that was Second Stage did that. That was one of their first huge shows that they did. Next up, we go to Aarons and Flaherty, who are the masters of this. This is a smaller version of their elongated opening number that they like to do. This is Roger Rees and the original off-Broadway cast of A Man of No Importance with A Man of No Importance on The Musical Show on Spreaker.com.
How beautiful is the Princess Salome tonight. She is like the shadow of a white rose in a mirror of silver. She is like a dove that has strayed. She is like a narcissus trembling in the wind. She is like a silver flower.
It's a rainy Dublin morning, sky a leaden grey. Black umbrellas passing, just a normal day.
A woman is sliding 2 eggs on a plate, calling her brother, "Now Alfie, you're late."
And a man is brushing the lint from his vest, just a man, his uniform duty pressed. Now the man remembers a poem that makes his heart yearn.
But his sister says, "Straighten your tie."
And the butcher next door waves goodbye
to a man of no importance.
Enter Robbie Fay, driver of the bus. Just another day for the two of us.
Now the man greets passengers boarding the bus, and the bus becomes something more than a bus, as the man takes tickets and gives them a verse in return. And a few simple hearts are thus formed, as a great Dublin day is transformed by a man of no importance.
What we had was something, what we had was rare. Poetry and art in the air. And friends! Good morning, my dear friends.
Good morning, Mr. Bourne.
With your permission, I will begin today's reading with The Harlot's House by Dublin's own immortal Oscar Wilde. We caught the tread of dancing feet. We lighted down the moonlit street and stopped beneath the Harlot's House.
Picture a bus as it moves down a street past a window of fish and a priest on a bike. A handful of people with journeys to make, leaving the everyday world in their wake. Then it's break.
One little Guinness, it's always the same.
A Guinness a day keeps the doctor away.
You sound like me, old man. Safe and sound, that's the name of your game.
Well, it's good for you. It builds up your muscles.
Hasn't done much for you. There's got to be more to life than 1 pint or the pub. Too late for my dad, but for you, mate, there's hope.
And what kind of sandwich is this?
Cucumber.
Cucumber.
An ordinary sandwich, immortalised in the importance of being earnest. At the Theatre Royal, Haymarket, February 14th, 1895. A night the mundane became sublime. That was a first performance, my friend.
What's going on here?
Damn, it's Carson. You look like you could use a Guinness, Mr. Carson.
You're 8 minutes behind schedule. The Dublin transit system doesn't take this laxness lately. I'm warning you now, Barn.
Picture the bus as it moves down a street past a nun with a sack and a boy with a dog. A bus in the rain and the humblest of men, bringing his passengers home once again.
Good afternoon, me dear friends.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bourne.
With your permission, I will continue with The Harlot's House. Then turning to my love, I said, the dead are dancing with the dead. The dust is whirling with the dust. But she heard the violin and left my side and entered in. Love passed into the house of lust.
A blue-coated girl no one's noticed before enters the bus, takes a seat by the door.
My friends, we have a new face. Permit me on your behalf to welcome her into our little circle. Welcome, my dear. Welcome, Miss
Rice.
Miss Rice. Miss Rice's entrance matches perfectly the lines of our poem, Our Little Rhyme. Then suddenly the tune went false. The dancers wearied of the waltz, the shadows ceased to wheel and whirl, and down the long and silent street, the dawn with silver-sandaled feet crept like a frightened girl.
Oh, fair play to you, Mr. Bourne. Fair play.
Just a man conducting his bus through the day, 'cause the day is now something more than a day, as the man takes tickets and looks at the girl dressed in blue.
Then his driver yells, Alf, you okay?
And the bus lumbers off on its way, as a man of no, a man of no, a man of no, a man of importance, a man of no importance, ends his day.
Home, James, take the scenic route through Phoenix Park past Parliament House and straight on to Dreamland.
You and your fancies, they're always a grin. I wish I had your imagination, mate.
You do, you just don't use it.
I'll bet you fancy that girl who got in.
Never mind the girl, and I've done the report.
For a fella who's got his head in the clouds such as you, you're damn fine to work with, and I'm glad I do.
Thanks, Robbie. I like you too.
I'm off to the pub then.
Good luck at the snooker.
Don't walk into walls, Alf. That girl is a looker.
I'll see you tomorrow
at 7.
It's a rainy Dublin evening. Lamps are going on. Black umbrellas passing, people come and gone. A uniformed man hurries home through the night. 3 blocks down Collins, a left, then a right. And nothing is different, save one ray of light. For a man of no importance.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
Tonight we gotta bring in the noise. And time permitting, also the funk.
Only on Spreaker.com.
Lights up on Washington Heights, up at the break of day. I wake up and I got this little punk I gotta chase away. Pop the grade at the crack of dawn, sing while I wipe down the awning. Hey y'all, good morning.
Ice cold piragua, parcha, china, cherry, strawberry, and just for today, I got mamey.
Oye, piragüero, ¿cómo está?
Como siempre, señor Usnavi.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated, exacerbated by the fact that my syntax is highly complicated, cause I immigrated from the single greatest middle place in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. I love it, Jesus, I'm jealous of it, and beyond that, ever since my folks passed on, I haven't gone back. God damn, I gotta get on there. Oh. The milk is gone bad, hold it just a second. Why is everything in this fridge warm and tepid? I better step it up and fight the heat, cause I'm not making any profit if the coffee isn't light and sweet. Abuela, my fridge broke. I got café but no con leche.
Try my mother's own recipe. 1 can of condensed milk.
Nice.
Ay, paciencia y fe.
That was Abuela, she's not really my abuela, but she practically raised me. This corner is her escuela now. You probably thinking, I'm up Schitt's Creek. I never been north of 96th Street. Well, you must take the A train. Even farther than Harlem to northern Manhattan and maintain. Get off at 181st and take the escalator. I hope you're writing this down, I'm gonna test you later. I'm getting tested, times are tough on this bodega. 2 months ago somebody bought Ortega's. Our neighbors started packing up and picking up, and ever since the rents went up, it's gotten mad expensive, but we live with just enough.
In the Heights, I flip the lights and start my day. There are fights and endless debts and bills to pay. In the Heights, I can't survive without cafe. But tonight seems like a million years away. In Washington.
Next up to bat, the Rosarios, they run the cab company, they struggle in the barrio. See their daughter Nina's off at college, tuition is mad steep, so they can't sleep. Everything they get is mad cheap.
Good morning, Usnavi.
Tan caliente café con leche.
Put $20 on today's lottery.
1 ticket, that's it.
Hey, a man's got a dream.
Don't mind him, he's all excited, cause Nino flew in at 3 a.m. last night.
Don't look at me, this one's been cooking all week.
Usnavi, come over for dinner.
There's plenty to eat.
So then Yesenia walks in their room. She smells sex and she perfume. It smells like one of those trees that you hang from the rear view. No, it's true. She screams, who's in there with you, Julio? Grabs a bat and kicks in the door. He's in bed with Jose from the liquor store.
No me diga. Daniel and Carla from the salon.
Thanks, Usnavi.
Sonny, you're late.
Chillax. You know you love me.
Me and my cousin running, just another dime a dozen. Mom and pop stop and shop. And oh my God, it's gotten too darn hot. Like my man Cole Porter said, people come through for a few cold waters and a lottery ticket, just a part of the routine. Everybody's got a job, everybody's got a dream. They gossip as I sip my coffee and smirk. The first stop is people hop to work. Bust it. I'm like $1, $2, $1.50, $1.69. I got it. You want a box of condoms? What kind? That's 2 quarters. 2 quarter waters. The New York Times, you need a bag for that. The taxes added. Once you get some practice at it, you do rapid mathematics automatically. Selling maxi pads, fuzzy bags for taxi cabs. Practically everybody's stressed, yes, but they press through the mess, bounce checks, and wonder what's next.
In the Heights, I buy my coffee and I go. I buy my coffee and set my sights on only what I need to know. What I need to know. In the Heights, money is tight, even so. When the lights go down, I blast my radio.
You ain't got no skills.
Benny,
yo, let me get a
Milky Way.
Yeah, let me also get a
Daily News
and
Post.
And the most important, my
boss is second coffee, 1 cream, 5
sugars. I'm the #1 earner, the fastest learner. My boss can't keep me on the damn back burner.
Yes, he can.
I'm making moves, I'm making deals, but guess what?
What?
You still ain't got no skills. Yo, Vanessa, show up yet?
Shut up.
Hey, little homie, don't get so upset.
Man.
Tell Vanessa how you feel. Buy the girl a meal on the real, or you ain't got no skills.
saving to make a down payment and pay rent. No, I won't let you down.
Here's your chance, ask her out right now.
I'll see you later, we can look at that lease.
Do something, make you move, don't freeze.
Hey! You owe me a bottle of cold champagne.
Are you moving?
Just a little credit check and I'm on that downtown train.
Well, your coffee's on the house.
Okay.
Now we ask her out.
No way. I'll see you later, so.
Ooh, smooth operator. Oh, damn, there she goes. Yo, bro, take 5. Take a walk outside. You look exhausted. Lost, don't let life slide. The whole hood is struggling, yeah, times are tight. And she's stuck to this corner like a street light. Yeah, I'm a street light choking on the heat. The world spins around while I'm frozen to my seat. The people that I know all keep on rolling down the street. But every day is different, so I'm switching up the beat. Cause my parents came with nothing, they got a little more. Sure, we're poor, but yo, at least we got the store. And it's all about the legacy they left with me is destiny. And one day I'll be on the beach with Sonny writing checks to me.
I hang my flag on display.
We came to work and to live, and we got a lot in common.
Reminds me that I came from miles away.
Every day, my city's saving.
Until the day we go from poverty to starting
In the heights I've got today.
Today's all we got, so we cannot stop. This is our block.
In the heights, I hang my flag upon display. It reminds me that I came from miles away. The heights gets more expensive every day. And tonight is so far away.
But as for mañana, mi pana, you gotta just keep watching. You'll see the late nights, you'll taste beans and rice. We sit on the shade lights. I ain't gonna say it twice. Turn on the stage lights. We're taking a flight to a couple of days in the life for what it's like
in Washington Heights.
I can't wait forever is all that you said before you stood up. And you won't disappoint me, I can do that myself. And I'm glad that you've come. Now if you don't mind, leave and free yourself at the same time. Leave. I don't understand. You've already gone, and I hope you feel better now that it's out. What took you so long? And the truth has a habit of falling out of your mouth now that it's come. But if you don't mind, please yourself at the same time. Leave. Let go of my hand. You said what you came to now. Leave. Let go of my hand. You said what you have to now. Leave. You have to now leave. Leave.
that was Steve KZ with Leave From Once. Before that, it was Lin-Manuel Miranda and the original cast of In the Heights with In the Heights. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. A Man of No Importance is a really wonderful show. It's Aarons and Flaherty. It's sort of one of their lesser-known shows. It just didn't get a whole lot of fanfare. Like, it came after Ragtime, and so... it played at Lincoln Center in 2002, but it's a really wonderful show. It's actually the first time I ever heard Stephen Pasquale sing. He's in, oh God, I love Stephen. Anyway, first time I ever heard Stephen Pasquale sing, so I have them to thank for that as well, which is very nice of them to do that for me. In the Heights is really good. In the Heights gets done a lot. I was looking it up before. There's been like 10 to 12 productions all over the world. Manila, Santo Domingo, Tokyo, Melbourne. Just great stuff from that. I mean, it's his first musical. And as I was listening to it, I freaked out for a second because I was like, oh my God, In the Heights had to have come out recently. What am I doing? It's out of order. It's wrong. And then I looked and it was 08. 08. It has been 10 years since In the Heights was on Broadway. So reckon that with your age and enjoy the rest of the show. And if you've never heard Once, I mean, it's just good. It's just a good cast recording to just put on and just listen to. It's got some great numbers in it, some great a cappella numbers in it. Ted's dying wife is in it. It's really just really wonderful. Just really wonderful stuff. And that's, of course, it was Glenn Hazzard and Marketa Irglova. And I'm pronouncing that name wrong, and I apologize, but I'm from Jersey, so I'm taking a mulligan. On to the last segment of the show. We are going to start this one with one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite cast recordings by one of my favorite songwriting duos. This is, of course, Pasek and Paul. This is from their show Dogfight. This is the original off-Broadway cast of Dogfight with Some Kind of Time on the musical show on Spreaker.com.
Ante up if you got
gonna
it.
turn to stone when you take one look at my work. Frisco, here we go!
You better call the cops and give them warning.
Sound the siren,
Bang the bell.
a mean Marine rolls in this morning.
On his way to raise some hell.
No sleeping us out.
Or keeping us quiet.
Try it!
Through the Golden Gate, across the water.
See us coming, hit the dirt. Lock your door and hide your daughter.
Wouldn't want her getting hurt. Going all in, throwing a dogfight. Big night. The party's on, we got till dawn. We'll be having some kind of time. Some kind of time. Living in large. Making noise because the boys are now in charge. Some kind of time. Cut all our strings, we'll be kings for an evening. Gonna be having some kind of time.
I hear you guys are sponsoring a little get-together. The Dogfight. I want in.
You know the rules?
The Marine with the ugly estate wins the pot.
You got the $50.
Sure do.
Looks like an outstanding candidate to me.
We're gonna run the streets and find some trouble.
One last night we don't forget.
Drink so deep we're seeing double. One last night with no regret. Anything goes, sloppy and boozing, cruising.
A band of brothers you've been given pride you never thought you'd feel. The shitty life that you were living barely seems like it was real. Cause when it gets rough, your buddies will pull you right through. You get that and more when you join the Corps. You're in store for some kind of time.
Some kind of time. Don't think it through. Cause your gut will tell you what you gotta do. Some kind of time. Cut all our strings, we'll be kings for an evening. Don't you miss out on some kind of time. Goodbye to chili fries, to apple pies and Dinah Shore. So long to waffle cones, new Twilight Zones and Leslie Gore. Farewell to Chevrolets, to Willie Mays, the corner store. raise your cup and live it up. And live it up. A wild ride on my last night stateside. The whole damn town is ours to borrow. Nothing standing in our way. The whole damn world might change tomorrow, so we go for broke today. Making it count, taking that one shot we got. You just don't know where the night might go. Here's to JFK and the USA. Some kind of time, take what we own. With a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, your boys are grown. Some kind of time, cut all our strings. We are kings for an evening. What do you say to some kind of time? No one don't mind ya, gotta go find ya, leave it behind ya. Gonna be having some kind of time.
Now I don't know. But I've been told. That's true of everything I think I know. Everything I think I don't know. But I've been told. Yes, I've been told.
I don't even know how to begin. I don't even know who I am. I'm not here. No one is here. I stay awake most every night, waiting for a glimpse to appear. Where's my ghost in the mirror? I want one too. I've got 1,001 stories. Every single one of them's a lie. Let me read you a story, let me read you a romance. I will read, you will listen, and this terrible night will pass. When I was a child, I used to play with all the voices in my head. Long, long ago, that's not me anymore. Now I ride the subway every night, staring at the game on my phone. Keep my head down, I'm all alone.
And I don't know if this is me at all or just some ghost of me that I dreamed up just to sing myself to sleep.
Or someone that I used to be, or someone that I will be, or someone that I am right now. Or someone that I used to be, or someone that I will be, or someone that I am right now. Or someone that I used to be, or someone that I will be, or someone that I am right now.
You're listening to The Musical Show.
It's the only kind of music that the Huns and the honeys love to sing.
That's our Hitler. No way.
Only on Spreaker.com.
If you knew my story, you'd have a hard time believing me.
you'd think I was alive. Joy and sorrow never last. I'll die trying not to live in the past. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. I left my clothes on that cold river rock, my cares and my woes rolled up in my socks. I lay down in that mountain stream and the icy water rushed over me. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. Me, I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Many backs have broken from lesser weight, I know. I was born to carry more than I can hold. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble, you'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story, drew the water from my well. If you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. Me, I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble, you'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story.
We hear you, comrades. The revolution hears you. Together, we will forge a new Russia that will be the envy of all the world. The Tsar's St. Petersburg is now the people's Leningrad.
They can call it Leningrad, but it will always be Petersburg. New name, same empty stomachs. They tell us times are better. Well, I say they're not. Can't cook an empty promise in an empty pot. A brighter day is dawning. It's almost at hand. The skies are gray, the walls have ears, and he who argues disappears. Hail our brave new land!
St. Petersburg is booming, a city on the rise.
It's really very friendly if you don't mind spice.
We stand behind our leaders and stand in line for bread.
We're good and loyal comrades, and our favorite color's red.
Now everyone is equal. Professors push the brooms.
2,000 total strangers live in 2 small rooms. You hold the revolution, and here's the price you pay. Thank goodness for the gossip. Spasiba, Sasuki. Thank goodness for the gossip that gets us through the day. Hey, have you heard? There's a rumor in St. Petersburg. Have you heard what they're saying on the street?
Although the Tsar did not survive, one daughter may be still alive.
The Princess Anastasia.
But please do not repeat.
It's a rumor, a legend, a mystery. Something whispered in an alleyway or through a crack. It's a rumor that's part of our history.
They say her royal grandmama will pay a royal sum
To someone who can bring the princess back.
Dmitri, they've closed another border. We should have gotten out of Russia while we still could. St. Petersburg was lovely when royalty was in. I called myself a count as though I'd always been. I hobnobbed with the royals, but then a change of luck. The Tsar was dead, the royals fled, and comrade, now we're stuck.
Vlad, I've been thinking about the Princess Anastasia.
Oh, not you too, Dimitri!
It's the rumor, the legend, the mystery. It's the Princess Anastasia who will help us fly. You and I, friend, will go down in history. We'll find a girl to play the part and teach her what to say. Dress her up and take her to Paris.
Imagine the reward her dear old grandmama would pay. Who else could pull it off but you and me?
It was a truck backfiring, comrade. That's all it was. Those days are over, neighbor against neighbor. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. You're shaking. There's a tea shop just steps from here. Let me...
Thank you.
What's your hurry?
I can't lose this job. They're not easy to come by. But thank you.
I'm here every day.
A ruble for this painting. It's Romanov, I swear.
Count Yusupov's pajamas, comrade, by the pair.
I found this in a palace, initialed with an A. It could be Anastasia's. Now what will someone pay?
We need something of hers to show the old lady. How much is that music box?
Ah, the music box. It's genuine Romanov. I could never part with it.
2 cans of beans, comrade?
Done.
Do you believe in fairy tales, Vlad?
Once upon a time, I did.
We are going to create a fairy tale the whole world will believe. Now it's risky, but not more than usual. We'll need papers, we'll need tickets, we'll need nerves of steel.
Yes, it's risky, a lot more than usual.
We'll try to cross the border with our princess and our plot.
Hopefully disaster won't ensue.
With luck it all goes smoothly.
And with luck we won't be shot. Who else could pull it off but me and you?
We'll be rich.
We'll be rich.
We'll be out.
We'll be out. And St. Petersburg will have some more to talk about.
I heard it from a person who assured me it was absolutely true. Shh, have you heard? There's a rumor in St. Petersburg. Have you heard? Comrade, what do you suppose?
A fascinating mystery.
The biggest con in history.
The Princess Anastasia.
That was the original Broadway cast of Anastasia with A Rumor in St. Petersburg. Before that, it was Carmen Cusack in the original cast of Bright Star with If You Knew My Story. And finally, before that, it was Brent Arnold, Britton Ashford, Gelsey Bell, and Dave Malloy with I Don't Know from Ghost Quartet. You're listening to the musical show on Spreaker.com. I've said this a lot tonight, and I don't really get to see that many shows, but I happened to see a bunch of these, and I was actually had the great opportunity to see Ghost Quartet at the McKittrick Hotel with the original cast, or this particular cast, I should say, the recording cast. And it's so good, guys. Dave Malloy is wonderful. I mean, it's, if you know Natasha Pierre, you love that. It's a very weird song cycle about 4 people who are telling just these interwoven stories. There's a segment of it that's all in dark. It's really just wonderfully done, and the people that do it are excellent. If you get a chance to see it, definitely take that chance. It's really good. Look, A Rumor in St. Petersburg, A Man of No Importance is classic Ahrens and Flaherty. These big, long sort of just introduce you to all the characters, just sort of blow them all out there and get it done in this sort of montage of just chaos and just end with just a big flourish. And there you go, Anastasia. If you don't know Dogfight, definitely get it. Definitely. If you like Dear Evan Hansen, if you liked A Christmas Story, if you like Pasek and Paul and you've never heard Dogfight, please get it. It is really wonderful. It's very weird. When I didn't know what it was about, and then I got it, and you listen to it, and it's about these military guys who are going away, and they do this contest where who can bring the ugliest girl, and of course the guy ends up falling in love with his girl, and it's got just some wonderful songs in it. Give Way is a wonderful song. It's really, really good. It's just good, and that's really the best thing you can say about anything, is it's just good, right? And that's opening numbers again, because of course we did it last year. These are this year's, right? So we had Anastasia, Bright Star, Ghost Quartet, we did Dogfight, we did Once, In the Heights, Romance, little small show for you. Evita, we did a concept album, which is always exciting as well. Of course, Unsinkable Molly Brown, Take Me Along, and so on and so forth. That's it for tonight's show. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with a show during the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm going to counter-program the Super Bowl because I feel like anybody who's listening to this is probably not watching the Super Bowl, although I will be watching the Super Bowl. But as I said, you can follow me on Twitter at TheMacho365. We have some fun shows coming up. We're going to be doing some history. We're going to be doing the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, playing some off-brand shows that you may not have heard before. You may have heard the name, but you've never heard a song from. We have our 2017 Part 2, and that'll probably be next week's show. That'll be all the rest of the shows that were released in 2017. Of course, we have our I Am songs, I Want songs. We have Patter songs. We have all sorts of different fun songs coming up. Every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. You can listen to us. You can download us on iTunes, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and live on Spreaker every Sunday night. Have a great week, everybody. Follow me on the Macho 365 and enjoy musical theater. Bye.